school, but they were written by her stepfather at home when I wasn't there, so she would call. Dan, that jerk. Michaela, what's wrong? What is it? This pervert, he just... But you can't tell anybody what I've told you. Thank you for listening, but please don't try and help. How can you possibly expect me to just stand back and allow the closest thing in the world to me get hurt? Because every time you try to help, every time he finds out, you just make things worse. And what am I supposed to do? I can't help you because I simply can't, and that means I can't stop him. Believe me, if I had him out where I'd go down there and I'd kill him, I'd stop. Dan. Things just can't work that way, okay? How are things supposed to work, Mom? We had this old abandoned warehouse on Kennedy Street, and it had these huge walls that completely blocked out any noise. So me and Michaela would go down there because it kept all of her tears and sobbing leaking from the inside out. When we're in here, it all just feels a little bit better, you know? No, what are you talking about? I don't know, I feel safe and secure. Knowing that when we're in here, only you can hear my stories. Only you can know my pain. And only you would understand. Michaela, of course I understand. School came and went. And then Mom, and then came summer. And as summer came, things started to change. For the better. She would smile a lot more, and we spent a lot less time in that old abandoned warehouse. Whenever I asked her about things getting better, she would never give me a straightforward answer, but that was okay. She was happier, and I let it be. One day that summer, we went to the beach, and while she still wasn't comfortable showing too much skin, she really did enjoy herself. I did too. Dan, I swear, if you don't stop splashing me. Michaela, I'll promise I'm not the one splashing you. Dan, stop. Whoa. Don't fall, Michaela. I got you. That day, along with the first day we met, are two of my favorite memories I have with her. We played in the water, we walked along the sand, and somehow we never ran out of time. But Mom, eventually the point came when I had to drop her back off. So I held her tight in my arms, and I gave her a kiss goodnight, and then I watched her walk down the corridor to her apartment building. And you know, Mom, looking back at it, I never would have let her out of my arms that night if I knew what was coming the following day. She calls me, and it caught me off guard. You know, I hadn't received one of her calls like this in a while. I thought things were getting better. So she calls, and she asked me to meet her in the warehouse, and I did, without any hesitation at all, just like I had every other time before. But this wasn't like every other time before. Dan, the pain at home, it's all just too much. It's time for me to put an end to it, you know? That's a good thing, right? You can leave home, you can come stay with me. No, Dan, that's not exactly the ending I had in mind. What are we going to do with that, Michaela? You don't seem to understand, Daniel. All the pain inside and out, all the pain at home is all just too much to bear. The only way for me to end my suffering is for me to end my life. No, okay, listen to me, Michaela. I wish that I could tell you that it was all going to be okay, and that he wouldn't put his hands on you anymore, but I don't know how true that is. But what is true is that I love you, and that's never going to change, okay? Listen to me. You don't have to do this. I have to do this, Dan. Please let go of the gun. Don, let go of the gun. I have to do this. Okay, Mom? There was no Michaela, all right? No Dan Haven, but there is me. I'm Michael, me. I'm not Dan. There is no Dan, but there is my best friend, Don. Don, who was there for me every time my stepfather ever put his hands on me. thought things were getting better, you know? I thought Dawn was helping. But was I wrong? So I called Dawn, and I asked her to meet me in the old warehouse, and she does. And then that night, with that gun, I tried to end it. I tried to stop my life, you know? But Dawn was there, and she just wouldn't let go of the gun, you know? I was holding on tight, but she just wouldn't stop trying to help me. And in her final attempt to save my life, I pulled the trigger. My whole body goes numb. There's this silence in the mom. For a second, I thought I was dead. I thought I was out. I thought the man that's been touching me since I was 7 would never get to put his hands on me anymore. But then I realized, if I was successful in leaving that cruel world I was forced to call home, then I was successful in leaving Dawn. And that wasn't okay, Mom, because no matter how cruel the world got, Dawn was always worth it. No matter how much your husband touched me, or yelled at me, or hit me, Dawn was always there, Mother. Where were you? Where were you, Mom? And the funny thing is, in the middle of all this pain and sorrow, in the middle of all this bullshit, I hear her voice. My body gets its feeling back, shapes begin to come clear, and I swear to you, Mother, I hear her voice. Michael, listen to me. We have to go. We have to get out of here. Don't worry about the gun. Come home. To my home. And I went with her, Mom. And I stayed there, only calling you once to tell you that I was okay and to not come looking for me, but never telling you about your husband, my stepfather. 10 years later, Mom, and I still haven't told you. Even now, Mom, I still can't.